Welcome back, everybody. So, I decided to make this video for those who believe that if blacks receive reparations, that they would just blow all the money and that they're not financially literate when it comes to money and building wealth. So I'm here to dismiss those myths, those who are social Darwinists who believe that only white people are capable of dealing with money. So I'm going to have to refresh people's memory when whites had money and blew the bag, as they say nowadays. So let me just refresh your memory all the way back to the early 1900s, where you had whites who decided to invest in the stock market. It was known as the Gilded Age, the Roaring Twenties, where whites, majority whites, took money, and it was known as borrowing on margin. They took money from the bank and invested it in the stock market, which created a big bubble. And not only that, they decided to borrow money once again and buy things with it. As they used to say back then, keeping up with the Joneses. Now it's like keeping up with the Kardashians. But whatever makes you happy. So they decided to use this money to invest in the stock market. And we all know what happened once they invested. The bubble burst, which led to the Great Depression. So for those who believe just that whites are capable of taking money and doing the right things with it, that just goes to show you that that's not always the case. So basically, they invested, the bubble burst, which led to the Great Depression, and guess what happened? Yes, they were pretty much given an opportunity to get themselves out of that Black Tuesday, so to speak. It was known as the New Deal by Roosevelt, who came up with programs to get them out of their rut. Right? We have programs like Social Security that's still around today. Programs like unemployment. Programs like welfare. Yes, welfare. Look it up. And guess who received welfare? Majority whites, which they still are the majority receiving it today. Do your research. So for those who say, oh, it's majority blacks and immigrants and minorities on welfare, no. That's just stereotypes. That's not true. So basically, Roosevelt came up with the New Deal, got them out of their rut, which still was somewhat helpful, but really got them over the hump was World War II, when they were given jobs opportunities. And you know what else was given to these people who led to the Great Depression after World War II that many people don't discuss, which they should, which is another form of reparations. And let's not talk about the Homestead Act, right? Or redlining. But they was also given the GI Bill of Rights. And guess what was given to them through the GI Bill of Rights? Unemployment, low interest rates to buy a home, free education, and money to start a business. So for those who say, oh, black people are going to get money and they just going to make horrible decisions and blow their money. Now, you may have some who do, but you have to understand, in the early 1900s, there were many black communities throughout the United States who had many entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, hotel owners. And you guess what happened to all these communities? And Tulsa, Oklahoma is not just the only Black Wall Street. There were many Black communities who were striving in the early 1900s. They burnt them all down, or they took them away through eminent domain. So next time you hear people like Dr. Phil that says that blacks, if they receive reparations, that they will burn it and waste all the money, just tell them to think about the Gilded Age, the Roaring Twenties, the Great Depression, the New Deal, the GI Bill of Rights, all forms of reparations that got people out of the rut who got themselves in the rut in the first place. So those social Darwinists way of thinking, that's not going to work when it comes to reparations now. There's many cases of whites who made money mistakes. So just don't think blacks are the only ones who would do that. There are many groups who done that. So reparations is what we should focus on. Reparations is what we should get. Now, am I telling you not to vote? No. But I'm telling you, that doesn't mean you have to vote for Republicans or Democrats. There's other groups who are running for office. And you can still vote for legislation to pass if you see fit. But when it comes to blacks and people saying that if they receive reparations, that they would just waste the money, that may be a few, but that's not the whole group. And if you believe that we're not going to receive reparations, then if you believe that, then guess what? We'll never get it if you continue to think that way. We all need to be on the same page. We all need to be focused on reparations, because that will bring us true wealth, and that would lead to civil rights issues being settled, and that would lead to voting rights actually being settled, because we've been fighting for these policies all the way since the 1800s, and we're still fighting for it. Don't let them fool you. Let's focus on reparations. We can get it. Don't let the naysayers tell you that we can't. If we believe, it can actually happen. I remember when people were talking about we will never get a black president. And lo and behold, we ended up getting one. Out of 46 presidents, majority are white. And they talking about they colorblind. 46 presidents and only one is black. How so? How are you colorblind? Really? Do you think you can really fool us? Put a comment down below. Share it with family and friends. And get on board with reparations, because once we all on board, we'll get it. Best believe. Out.